Hello, and welcome back to yet another episode of Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood. I'm so sorry that this episode is coming to you guys a little later than usual. I was at Summer Smash this entire weekend, and I pre-recorded an episode, but I didn't like it, so I had to record an episode today. So this is our first episode you guys have gotten that I've actually recorded on a Monday. So happy to do it. Guys, Summer Smash was absolutely insane. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. I have not had that much fun. I went all 3 days. I've not had that much fun in so long. I really needed it. It was great. So, yes, I would talk about it a little more if this was a little bit more about my personal life, but no, seriously, it was great. So today's episode is going to be about forgiveness. I want to talk about forgiveness because Summer Smash is a big Chicago event. And Chicago, I told you guys, even though it's such a large city, it's so small at the same time. So I bumped into a lot of people. And I bumped into some people that I necessarily didn't really want to see or just had issues kind of seeing. And it was a lot. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about forgiveness. And I want to talk about my personal growth and my emotional healing. And I hope this is a good episode. I'm going to talk about facing my past. I'm going to talk about understanding forgiveness. I'm going to talk about my sisterhood and forgiveness. I'm going to talk about the journey towards it. And I'm just going to embrace healing. And it's going to be a great thing. Get you some tissues, get you some tea. Sorry if my voice sounds a little weird. Had a long weekend. I got caught in the rain. I might have a little bit of a cold. So forgive me for that. And let's get into this. Okay, so this weekend, I really don't want to talk about the situation. I know I have some issues with vulnerability and stuff, but I don't feel comfortable talking about it publicly. I hope you guys can respect that. I'm going to just talk around it. But I did run into somebody who really, really hurt me a couple of years ago. And when I say a couple of years ago, I mean maybe 10-ish years ago. And they really, really hurt me. And I have not seen them in over probably 3 or 4 years. And so seeing them in person for the first time shocked me so much. And it really brought back so many emotions. And the biggest one was anger and fear and hurt. Anger is a secondary emotion. And most of the time it's secondary to hurt or fear or something like that. And for me, it was fear. And I was just completely shocked. And it was really, really hard for me to deal with because this person really, really hurt me a couple of years ago. And I didn't really know what to do and what to say. And I don't really know if I made the right decision. So maybe you guys can tell me. I froze. I didn't say anything to them. They actually ended up calling my name and wanting to talk to me. And I didn't confront them. And I just froze and I walked ahead and it was just like a fight or flight reaction, adrenaline kicked. And I just knew I just had to get away. And I don't know if that was the best decision. But I felt like it was because Summer Smash is a highly public event. I did not want to sit there and argue with someone about my childhood trauma in front of probably 10,000 other people. I didn't have the time or the patience for it. I really didn't. And I was terrified. And I think it was the best choice to just ignore it, to just freeze because of how I think it shows how hurt and how scared I really, really am and how I just revert to a little girl again and how I feel like I did when I was a kid. And it was terrifying. And I've been putting it to the side. And that's what I always do with this exact situation. I've done it for so long. I just put it to the side and I don't deal with it. And I don't think that's a good idea. I don't know if that's the best thing for me to do. Because by me putting it to the side, I haven't necessarily dealt with that situation. I haven't dealt with the emotions of that situation. I haven't. And it's been really, really hard. And I don't know if it's the best thing. And that's why I decided, I was like, you know what? I need to forgive this person. And I feel like I have forgiven this person. It's been really hard for me. But I'm at this point where I'm not mad at them, but I'm still really, really deeply hurt by what they did. really, really deeply hurt. So I thought, you know what? I always try to incorporate my personal life into these podcasts, and I want to talk about forgiveness, and I want to talk about everything going on in my life, and I want to talk about how I need to forgive and what forgiveness means to me and all of that. So I think this is perfect. Like, let's talk about it. Forgiveness to me is when somebody or something hurts you and you make the mature emotional decision to move past that point and to move past that hurt and that anger, and you become indifferent. You don't love, you don't hate. To me, forgiveness means indifference. Now, everyone has their own personal definition of forgiveness, and we've talked about that. Everybody has their own definition of healingness, healing and happiness and all that good stuff. That's my personal definition of forgiveness. But it's hard, like for me, it is really hard to forgive people. And until last year, I just didn't do it at all. I'm not even kidding. I would hold a grudge for years. And I had trained myself to think, you know what, you don't have to forgive and forget to move on. You just have to become indifferent with it. And that's true. It's true, but it's not true. It's like, okay, some situations, yeah, I don't have to forgive or forget or take time to heal through it or whatever. I can write a poem, get mad for a little bit, and then become indifferent and move on. I don't have to sit there and barter and plead with myself to forgive and forgive you and forget, with certain things. But with this, I know I have to forgive them because it's going to weigh on me for the rest of my life and affect me with everything I do until I forgive this person and forgive this situation. And I'm struggling to find the strength to do that. I'm struggling to do it. But I think it is also important in life, as much as I am an advocate for remembering what people put you through, and holding grudges and doing things, I think it is important in life to forgive people. Absolutely. You should forgive people. Not everything, and you have to assess the situation first, because not everything done to you is done with the intention of hurt. I don't always hold on to that grudge. If somebody in my life who has brought nothing but value to my life, who's loved me and has pretty much been an asset to my life, messes up, I can forgive them. My best friend and I, we've only gotten into one fight our entire friendship. And I was able, even though it hurt me at the time and I was really upset about it, I was able to forgive her. And we don't even talk about it. Like, we've so moved on from that. And my best friend and I have the healthiest and longest relationship I've ever had. And it's been great. And I've been able to move on with that without issue. Because my best friend, despite that one time, my best friend has always had my back and has always loved me. And I'm so lucky and so fortunate to have her. So lucky and so fortunate. So I can move on from stuff like that. And from situations like that, I can. But I feel like it's the people who don't add any value in your life, who don't care about you or have repeatedly shown you that they won't show up for you, that they don't care about you. They're the one who puts you through things, and they feel no remorse. And it is so easy to hold on to that anger, to hold on to that grudge. And if truth be honest with you guys, it's hard for me to still forgive people. It's hard for me to let go of those grudges, to let go of that hate. But I'm slowly but surely learning how to do it, because it is hard. It is impossible sometimes to move on without having some sense of forgiveness in your heart, without having some sense of love in your heart for a person. I talked about in friendship breakups, I stopped being friends with someone I was friends with for 2 years. And it was really hard for me. And she put me through hell, the ringer, when I decided to stop talking to her. And I've been able to move on from that. Even though she hurt me so much, I've been able to move on from that. Because I can remember how much joy she once brought me. And how happy I was once being her friend. And how I really do have love for her in my heart. Even though I don't want to be friends with her or continue that, I love her. I really do, despite what she put me through. I really do. So I can move on. I don't have to hate her to feel good about myself. You know what I mean? So I've forgiven her to some extent, even though I haven't gotten there fully yet. I've forgiven her to some extent because I know I won't be able to have any kind of peace in my life until I do. Oh, I'm going to talk about family dynamics and sisterhood and all of that good stuff. Now, if you know me personally, then you know I struggle with some stuff with my sister. And we have a very rocky and complex relationship because my sister is mentally ill. And I'm not saying that as a dig. Like, my sister's diagnosed. So don't sit up here and think I'm trying to talk about mentally ill people because I am a big advocate for mental health. Don't go there with me. Our family dynamic suffers because of her mental illness. And it's very complicated and it's very hard to deal with. And on Friday, she kind of left me stranded after Summer Smash, and it made me so mad. And I don't want to get into details about that situation because I'm not trying to put her on Punch Street. But she made me so mad, and it just it was a reminder to me of the stuff she continuously puts our family through. And it's really hard for me to deal with. And it's really hard to see me hurting. It's hard to see my mom hurting. It's hard to see like my parents. Like, it's just hard. It's really, really hard to see that. And it's making me an angrier person. I have a shorter fuse. I will go off on people or whatever because I'm harvesting this anger from how she's treating me and how she's treating my family and how our family dynamic is being affected. I'm harvesting this anger that I don't want to harvest. I'm not an angry person. I used to be like the biggest pushover. I had no boundaries. I used to let people walk all over me. And going from that to this person that will yell and scream and hit you in a second. Well, I don't hit people, but you know what I mean. It's a big transition and it's rough and it's not what I want to do. I don't get some gratification out of putting other people down. Like, it doesn't make me feel better about myself. If anything, it makes me feel worse and like disgusted with myself, and I don't want to be angry anymore. Like, I want to forgive my sister. I want to find a healthy way to deal with my sister and her antics and our family dynamic, but I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know. I really don't. And there have been so many instances where I like put myself out there with her again and she just ends up hurting me again. And it's like a toxic relationship, like going back and forth. But it's not like I can break up with you and never have to deal with you again. I'm related to you. Like, you're my sister. And I don't want to not have a good relationship with my sister. I don't want to not talk to my sister. I don't want to be estranged from my sister. Like, I don't. But I've gotten to this point where I'm completely fed up. And I can be forgiving and I can be loving, but I just want to leave you alone. I don't know. Maybe I'm asking for you guys' advice. I'm asking for you guys' input here. And I feel like I never do that. I feel like I'm always the one giving the advice instead of giving. I'm always giving instead of getting. So please, please give me your input, please, because I genuinely don't know what to do. And to like give you guys some examples of like stuff that she does. She recently totaled our car. It wasn't exactly her fault, but our car got totaled. Thank God we had another one like the car I got for my birthday, and that we have that as, you know, a second means for transportation. But it was like, oh, you're so irresponsible in the situations you put yourself through, you put yourself in. It's irresponsible, and it's frustrating to continue to deal with someone who self-sabotages all the time, like the definition of an anti-hero. And I'm trying to live with my anger and my resentment for her and how she treats people, and it's really hard for me. And I want to be a better person. I want to be a more forgiving person, and I want to be a less angry person. Like, if you guys follow me on social media, which if you don't, you should, you will see that I post stuff about, you know, I'm always angry. I'm always there. I'm always ready. I'm always on guard. And I don't want to be like that. I really don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to be happy. I want to be carefree. I want to be the old Alex, the girl who unconditionally loves people and, you know, can be kind and forgiving and has the biggest heart and the sweetest soul and the best intentions. And I want to be like her all the time. But I want to find that balance where it's like I can be that sweet, super kind, loving, forgiving, compassionate Alex, but I also am not taking stuff just to take it, just to be that pushover, just to be that person. You know what I mean? I want to find that perfect balance, and I just haven't found it yet. So if you guys have any advice, If you guys have struggled with being a pushover in the past, especially with family dynamics, please offer them on at literally MGTG on Instagram. Please do. Now, when it comes to forgiveness, one of the ways I've been able to forgive people is by reassessing the situation. And sometimes that's hard, but I will reassess the situation and I will think about it from everyone's perspective. And if I think, you know what, I think I have a good way of thinking of like in an empathy way, like having empathy for other people. I mean, like, you know what, maybe her intention wasn't to hurt me or to do what she did. Maybe she was hurting so much, like she took it out on me, or maybe she's hurt about some situation or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And maybe that's not true. Maybe she's just evil or whatever it is. But it makes it easier for me to forgive. I have to think that way. I have to rationalize with myself. I have to say, you know what? You are not as evil as you are not what you did. You are not what you did. Going back to like that Taylor Swift reference, you are not what you did. You are hurting inside. You are upset about something. I triggered something within you and you hurt me the way you did. And I have to think that way because I cannot forgive a purely evil person. I have to rationalize within myself that you are not what you did. And it is so, once I'm able to do that, whether it's true or not, it's so much easier for me to forgive them. And perspective changes things. Once I have that perspective, I can forgive easily. I can move on easily. Like, you know what? They were hurting inside and they needed someone to take it out on, and they took it out on me. And maybe at the position I'm at and the person I am right now, I can maybe take that on. I can be your punching bag. I don't have to be angry with you. I don't have to hate you because you were hurting at that time. And if you were just a truly hurt person at that moment, I can forgive that. And whether, you apologize or you don't, I can forgive you. And it makes life so much easier. It makes life so, like, I don't have to carry that burden. And there used to be this girl I go to school with, and this girl hates my guts. Hates my guts, guys. Like, this girl cannot stand me. I don't really know why. I don't know why. I don't really know her, so I don't understand why she doesn't like me. But she doesn't like me. She hates my guts. That's her right. And I used to hate her for hating me. And I was like, thinking about it when I was in the hospital this year, I was like, what is that going to do? What is hating her back going to do? What is that effectively going to change? What is that going to do? And it's not going to do anything. And I'm pretty sure she still hates me. I don't understand why, really. I'm pretty sure she still does. And I've forgiven her. I've moved on past that. I can't change her opinion. I can't beg her to like me. It's the same way you would deal with like a guy who's not interested in you. I can't beg him to like me. I can't make him like me. I can't make her like me. She has her reasons, I'm sure. She doesn't like me. She hates me or whatever. Fine. Hate me. But I can't hate her back. It's not going to do anything but bring me down to that level. It's not going to do anything for me, but bring me down there and make me a more hateful and angry person. So I like her. I wish her well. I hope like she gets everything she's ever wanted. I really do. I'm like not even trying to be like a phony mean person. Like I actually don't want anything bad to happen to her. Like I like her. I like her. She doesn't have to like me. She can hate my guts. I like her. I'm very happy for her and everything she has going on. I really am. That's the attitude I'm having now. And I'm glad I'm talking this out with you guys. You know what? You can hate my guts. You can. You could have hurt me in the past or whatever. Whatever. I wish nothing but the best for you. Like, I don't want you to, like, die or, like, fall off a cliff or, like, something awful to happen to you. I like you. I hope good things come your way. And I really do feel that way. Like, I feel like it sounds so phony, but I'm serious. Like, that's how I feel. And I want to be more genuine and I want to be more intentional. I hope good things come for you. I hope good things happen to you. Like, I really do. I don't want anything bad to happen to people who have hurt me in the past. And that's how I have to feel. I don't want anything bad to happen to my sister. I don't want anything bad to happen to the person who hurt me at Summer Smash. I want everyone to be okay and I want everybody to be happy. Does that mean I'm not hurt? No. Does that mean I automatically can, wave a magic wand and everything goes away and I'm perfectly fine and whatever? No. But I'm working on forgiving and just moving past that point in my life and being a new person. Because harvesting resentment it's not going to do anything productive for you. I've been angry for the last 6 weeks because of the resentment I've had. And it's not doing anything for me, but making me an angrier person and making me more awful than I already was. And I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be resentful. I don't want to be that person anymore. I really don't. Also, I'm sorry if I sound like a little bit more monotone. I had a long weekend, I'm sure. But with you guys, I hope you guys can find it in your heart to forgive people. I hope you guys can find it in your heart to not hold on to resentment, to be happier and more loving people, and to just let go of stuff, to find the indifference in stuff. It is much easier to forgive than to hold on to a grudge forever. I promise you guys. That's my advice. If that's one thing you take away, then let that be. Work towards forgiving, okay? So I'm glad we got to talk about forgiveness today. I'm glad we got to talk about its transformative power. And I just want to go back into like my healing journey and how I want to be better. I want to be a better person. And I feel like these last 6 weeks have like countered that a little bit. But I want to be a better person. Like I really do. And being a better person does not include me being angry and on guard all the time and ready to snap on any and everyone because I'm resenting someone. And I can recognize that behavior and I can take accountability for it. And I can go back to being that soft, gentle, sweet girl. And that's what I want to be again. And that's what I encourage you guys to do as well. Like, we're working on healing. We're working on being happy. We're working on everything. And I hope that you guys can do it. No matter who has hurt you in your life, you have to forgive for you. You're not forgiving for the other person. You're forgiving for you and your own inner peace and for your life. You do not get any benefit in your life for holding a grudge, for being resentful, for being angry. You have to forgive for you and for your life to get that sleep at night, to move on with your life, to find peace, to have a better relationship with your family, with your friends, romantic encounters, whatever. You deserve that. So I encourage you strongly to forgive and forget and don't get upset. And, it takes time. It's a process. Healing is a nonlinear, crazy process. Forgiveness is a process, and it's crazy and it's hard and it takes time. And be compassionate with yourself. Please. You don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. No one does but God himself. Pray about it. Pray about it. That's the only person who knows definitely what to do, what the right thing is to do. Pray about it. Because, but have compassion with yourself. Forgiveness takes time. I'm not saying get up in the morning, forget, but I'm telling you it's time to take these steps to forgiving and forgetting and moving on with your life. It's time to do it. And with that, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for listening to yet another episode of Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood. I'm so excited to continue to be doing this podcast. I started this podcast in January. It's June, and I've been able to upload an episode almost every week. I'm so, so happy, and I love you guys so much. Please I always want to hear your feedback, your questions, your personal stories, your experiences with forgiveness. I really do. Please follow at Literally My Life MGTG on Instagram. That way we can stay updated with each other. We can stay, I can hear you guys' stories about forgiveness. I really want to hear that this week. I need your advice. I need your help. I really want to. I love you guys so much, and I'm so glad to be doing this episode. If you guys need any support, please reach out to me on at Literally My Life MGTG, and I will see you guys next week on yet another episode of Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood. Love you guys.